All right, hello guys. Good day, everyone. Once again, I want to bid you welcome to today's tutorial. And don't forget, I still remain pretty my humble self, ASD, and just like I used to do, asking about your well-being. How are you today? And I want to believe that wherever you are, all over the world, you are doing just fine. Alright, in today's tutorial, what we want to teach you is on paper size setting. In graphic design, you cannot do without paper size. You cannot do without paper size. It is very important. So what we want to teach you in today's tutorial is how to set your paper size. So without wasting your time, let's move straight to our Pixel Lab. Alright, so to set your paper size, you come to this option here. To begin setting your paper size, you come to this option here and you click on it. Then you come to image size. Alright, so this is where you set your paper size. And I believe you at one time or the other, you must have heard about paper size. At one time, maybe you're at the point where you print your document, maybe your certificate, your project, your assignment at school as a student. You have one thing or the other that you need to print, and you get to the printing shop and they ask you in what format. Is it A4 paper? You want to use A4 paper? I believe the most popular actually is A4, but we do actually have different paper size. We have A4, we have A3, we have A5, and so on and so forth. So we have different paper size setting. So what we want to do today is show you the different paper size that we have. We will show you. All right. So to begin, as you can see, you see the width and the height. So all you need to do to set your paper size is to input numbers. So let's say, for example, now you want to set your A4 paper size. The width is 1280. While the height is 904. Then you click on OK. All right. So this is A4 paper size. This is how to set your paper size to A4 format. And don't forget, it's in landscape format. We are setting for landscape paper size, landscape format. So that's how to set your paper size, A4. Then to set your paper size to A3, A3 becomes 1808 as the width, while the height becomes 1280. You click OK. That is A3 paper size. You see, as I change from A4 to A3, it looks as if there is no significant change in the paper size, but that's not true. There's a significant change. No matter how small it will be, A4 paper size is different from other paper size setting. A4 is different from A3, A3 is different from A5, A5 is different from A6, and so on and so forth. Paper size are different from one another. That's one thing I want you to know. So when you are changing your paper size, it might looks as if there's no significant change, but there's actually a significant change when you are changing from one paper size to another. So let's say we want to change for A5 now. A5 becomes 904 as the width, while the height becomes 640. Then you click OK. That is A5 paper size, landscape format. To set for A6 now, let's say to set for A6 format. A6 format becomes 640, while the height becomes 452. That is A6. that is A6 paper size, landscape format. Then for we set for BC paper size setting. The width becomes 540, while the height becomes 352. Click on OK. This is BC paper size setting, landscape format. Then to set for A3, I don't know if I have mentioned A3 paper size, but to set for A3 now, the width becomes 1808, while the height becomes 1280. 1280. That is A3 paper size setting, landscape format. Now let's do portrait. To set to portrait format now, to set your paper size to portrait format, all you need to do is change the numbers for the width and the height. You switch the numbers. For portrait format. This is landscape format now. Landscape format for A3 paper size setting. Now let's assume you want to set the paper size, you want to set your paper size to portrait format, A3 portrait format. All you need to do is change this number. You switch the numbers for the width and the height. So let's go now. Now, to set your A3 portrait format, the width becomes 1280, while the height becomes 1808. Then you click OK. You see that? It changes, the borderline changes. So this is A3 paper size setting for portrait format. Now let's do A4. Let's do A4 portrait format. A4 becomes 904 for the width, while the height becomes 1280. All right, this is A4 paper size setting, portrait format. So you do the same for each of the paper size. You switch the numbers if you want to set for portrait. Let's do one last one. Let's do A6, for example. Let's do A6 portrait format. For example, the width for A6 becomes 452 as the width, and 640 as the height. Yeah, that is A6 portrait format. And one last thing I want to show you is, notice the aspect ratio here. As we are changing the paper size, you notice that the aspect ratio here changes as well. Let's say, for example, now let's do landscape again for A4. Landscape A4 1280, then 904. You can see that the aspect ratio changes to 160 113. Okay, all right, now let's do one more. Let's do A3 now. A3, which is 1808, then 1280. You can see the aspect ratio changes from 160, or what's the number the other time, to this particular aspect ratio. This is what it changes to. So as you set your paper size, the aspect ratio changes. So it will do you a lot of good if you are familiar with this aspect ratio as well. If you are familiar with it, it will do you a lot of good. So that's that on that. Then one thing I want to show you again is this particular one, preset custom. Now if you click on this drop down arrow, you will see different this thing here. You can see you have custom, square, profile picture. So now if you want to set your paper setting, and you want to, let's say for example, you do a design and you want to make that design your profile picture, for profile picture square, if you click on it, if you click on this one now, you discover that the width and the height, the numbers will change. So aspect ratio becomes 1:1. So the numbers will change. Let's say if you want to design for a YouTube channel, you want to design a banner for YouTube channel, you don't need to start looking for the size for YouTube channel. In Pixel we already have them here. So we have them in Canva as well. In Canva as well. I'm doing this for the purpose of those who don't have who are iPhone users. For iPhone users, instead of Pixel, because you might not be able to use Pixel actually, but pretty much what Pixel Lab can do, Canva can do as well. But the only thing is that you need to be on the pro version. You need to be on the pro version for Canva. And I assure you that for iPhone users, all we are doing here, if you follow this video intimately, if you follow it and you do everything we ask you to do here, I tell you that Canva will be easy to use for you as well. So everything we do here you can do in Canva as well. So let's say now you want to do a design for a YouTube banner, YouTube channel banner. All you need to do is click on this one, and it will automatically change the paper size. Sorry, it will automatically change the paper size. So this is the paper size for a YouTube channel banner. Now, if you want to do for a Facebook cover art, Twitter head size, and so on and so forth. So all you need to do is come here and click on it. Facebook cover art, Facebook cover. See, this is the paper size for a Facebook cover art. So that is that on that. So it's very simple. Paper size setting is very simple. So with this, I believe I have been able to, convince you on different paper size setting. I believe I've been able to convince you and not confuse you on how to set your paper size. Alright, that is that on that for this tutorial. We'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.